Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Review Now with Matthew review. I, of course, am Matthew, as always. And I'm pretty excited about this one. This is something that I discovered about a month ago now, and I've been using it daily since then. It has taught me so much, it has helped me out a lot. I have really embraced this and really love it and want to share it with you guys. If you know me or watch my other channel, Here Now with Matthew, you know that I am pretty active in the crypto community world. I have been following, studying, and using cryptocurrency in some capacity since early 2010, or I'm sorry, late 2010, maybe early 2011, somewhere in that area. I actually started buying and selling and using Litecoin specifically in 2015. Sorry, I don't keep track of dates and time that well, but somewhere in that neighborhood. And it was actually my profits that I made trading Litecoin that allowed me to live in Peru for 4 months, buy a motorcycle, and drive from Pisac to Lima. And that was a blast of a trip. So, what is it that would really get me this excited? Well, it is an automated trading platform called Signal Groups. And it allows for some pretty amazing things. So, I'm just going to jump in. I've got my laptop right over there. And just want to walk you guys through the platform, how I use it, what I've learned from it. And then at the end, I actually have been talking with one of the developers at Signal Groups for quite a while and have some questions that I emailed him and he's responded. So I'd just like to read those out and give you guys a broader idea of what their vision is, what their staying power is like, and what they have planned for the future. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so this is Signal. And this is the initial interface that you will get as soon as you log in or as soon as you create an account, obviously without the existing trades. But as you can see, it's pretty clean, pretty simple. They don't really have tip notes enabled yet. So you don't really see what these are until you click on them. But it's a very clean interface, and it's also very easy to connect this to your Binance account. Now, one thing about this that you do need to know, at the moment it only works with Binance. They do have more exchanges planned, and I will talk about that after I go through all of this. But for right now, it's Binance only. So if you're inside the US, this is just something to watch, or if you want to use it for paper trades, because that's what I'm using it for right now, is paper trading. And it has been fantastic just to practice, just to develop a strategy. And it gives me a really easy way to calculate my profits and losses. In fact, it does it for me automatically, which I will show you here in a little bit. So I'm just going to walk you through creating a new trade. And it's pretty obvious. I already have Binance connected to it. I don't use it, again, because I'm living here in the United States, but I just wanted to play with it just to see what it was like. And it works really well, actually. But for now, like I said, I am just staying with the test exchange. And as you can see, you have two initial options, buy new and use existing. Now, buy new is basically all the primary pairs that Binance offers. So all their stable coins, Bitcoin, Binance Coin, and Ethereum. And then, of course, all their altcoins that you can buy with those primary pairs. Use existing is if you're already bought into an alternate coin like Litecoin or Dash or Monero or Verge or whatever, and you want to sell back to one of the primary coins. And they've got all the pairs, so Binance has way many coins on there. The initial buy new pairs, you can see 686 pairs. the existing pairs, 701 pairs. And when you go down here for your amount, there's obviously the standard 10, 25, 50, 100%, just like on Binance. Now, I have primarily been using Litecoin against some stable coin. So I'm just going to do that again because it doesn't really matter. This is for demonstration purposes only. But if you look, as soon as I pick a pair that I've already been using, a new option appears down here. And this is the last trade that I made. So they make it really, really easy to just, boom, and create multiple trades with the same buy-in amount and just play with different strategies, like different ladder buys, different profit targets, things like that. So once you've picked your pair and set the amount that you want to invest, come down here and we have our different market order, or our different order types. And of course there's the standard market where it just buys in immediately at whatever price it can get. There's the limit order and stop market order. Now, limit is where I find the most usefulness out of this platform. And I will show you why right now. So when you choose limit, this new option appears, laddered. And ladder buying, as you can see, allows you to set multiple buys, giving you the potential for a better entry. So I'm going to click that. And when I do, I get this little slider down here with the percentage amount. And what this allows me to do is to set an initial buy-in, or an initial limit. We'll just go 44.50. And then I can set how much of my investment I want to buy, or want to buy at that price. And I'm just going to say 50%. And notice how it automatically updates the amount right here. So buying in at the price of $44.50, 50% of my total investment will purchase me 1.12359 Litecoin. And I'm just going to hit add buy. And that starts building the trade. You can see it up here already ready. And this is what I really love the most. So it automatically updates the percentage amount. So I can't spend over my investment. And I'm just going to go 25%, drop this down to 44.25. And when I hit enter, see, I don't even have to come in here and click add buy. I can just hit enter right then. And boom, there it is. And then we'll go down, just say a 44 even, and use the last 25%. And there it is. It'll buy me 0.56818 Litecoin. And now, you've used 100% of your investment. Woo! So we hit continue, we come to the next really amazing killer feature of this platform, and that is trailing stop loss. A trailing stop loss will follow the price by the percentage you set. So when I check this box, instead of entering in a stop loss price, what I do is I set a percentage. And I generally go, because I'm playing with really small numbers, so I generally go with a fairly low stop loss. And we're just going to go 3%. So the initial trailing price, once this gets armed as soon as that first buy right here at 44 gets 50. And it tells me my initial trailing price. So if the price ever drops down to 43.17, it sells out immediately. And if I want to leave some in there, like if I don't want to sell everything, I can drop this down and sell only 50% or 70% or whatever. But you're only allowed one stop loss order. So I, again, just because I've been playing with such low numbers, keep it at 100% and add my trailing stop loss. Now they are going to add a new stop loss feature that I'll tell you about after this demonstration. But for right now, this is all we get. So once we set our stop loss, come over here to our target, and this is where we set our profits. So let's say we're looking for just really small, consistent profits, right? We'll set that at 3%. You can go even smaller than that. And then I'm just going to go with, let's sell 75% of my total buy-in, whatever actually gets bought in once it hits this price. And now this is something that's very important to know. As soon as this first buy gets triggered, this target is executed on the exchange. So if only the first buy gets executed, gets filled, then I'm only going to be selling 0.84269 Litecoin at that point. If the second, third buys get filled, obviously that will go up to the full amount of 1.69. We're going to add that target. And then my next one, let's just say 5%. And we're going to use the remaining 25% here. And again, it does tell you that this is all it's going to sell if only the first buy gets filled. We'll add that. And that's it. The trade is created. And at this point, I can just hit create trade, confirm it, and sit back and just let it ride. This to me takes a lot of the stress and the time out of day trading because one, I'm not constantly watching the exchange at this point. I'm not worried about it. I can go about my day, do whatever I want, and I don't have that just worry on the back of my mind of, well, what if the price has changed too much and I need to go in and change the order? Everything's already set up. Now, if I do happen to jump in and notice that, say, the trend is changing, I can edit these from right here. So say it's not going to go down. Like I noticed that it's just not going to go down to 44.25. I can bump this up. What's so I can just bump it up to 44.50 or even higher than that if I need to. And that's instantly been updated. So now 75% of my initial investment is going to go buy in at 44.50. And I can go and update this one too. We'll bump this up to 44.25, just on the off chance that it does go that low. And then you get some pretty interesting information down here too. So this is updated in real time based on the current price. Oh, and it looks like, see, I've noticed this happened a couple of times where if I edit an order, it re-executes that order on the exchange, and then just by luck, someone happened to want to buy it at that price or want to sell at that price. So now that this has been filled, this is showing me how much profit I'm going to make at the current price. Because it filled so low compared to what the current market price is, I'm already at 2.7% profit. That's pretty cool. And then here we have our stop loss. So on the left is the profit. It is my total profit that I would make if my stop loss were to sell right now. So if it crashes and I have to sell out, I'm only going to lose 1.7% of my investment. And then the right, of course, is the deviation. The trailing stop loss will follow the price buy. So as the price increases, it's automatically going to move the stop loss to 3% less than whatever the current price is. I'll close that. And the other thing I can do with this, let's go to an order that I've actually had open for a little while. So this has been running for about a day. As you can see, all of my buys were filled. And I've already reached one of my target prices, and that's filled. So this is live. Like, if I were to exit right now, I would make a profit of 2.8% on this trade. because of the trailing stop loss, if the price starts to crash, I'm not going to lose anything at this point. Like it's actually I'm still going to profit 1.1% even if the price crashes and it sells out. And I decided to let this one ride and see if it actually hits 5%. Just see if I can eke a little bit more profit out of it. But already my profit is locked in. Like at minimum, at this point, I'm going to make 1.1% profit on my trade, no matter what. And that's just really cool to see. Like I really appreciate that. And then, like I said, so I'm only using paper trading, and because the amounts they give you on the test exchange never change, you can't keep track of your profit and loss on this platform right now. So if I go into my closed, this is where it gives me my actual profits from each trade. And as you can see, I've just been playing with really small amounts, just playing around. But I can use these numbers to update my spreadsheet and keep track of how much money I've actually earned, and then play with the compound interest. So, my first trade was $100. I earned $6.15, which gives me a total of $106.15 to play with. So my next trade, I go back in and trade with $106.15 as opposed to $100, and I just play with that, building my principal over time, or losing my principal if that happens. And that's really it. Like this is the platform as it stands right now. Welcome back. Hopefully that demonstration gave you a pretty good idea of how easy this platform is to use and how it could help you. As I said in the beginning, I have been talking to one of the developers at Signal Groups, and he has been incredibly responsive and informative, and I've really enjoyed our conversation. I'd just like to share some of his answers to the questions I've been asking over the last few days for you guys here. I couldn't find anything about when they officially launched on the web. So that was my very first question. When did you officially launch? We launched almost exactly a year ago, January 2019. Our product was extremely bare bones back then, though. You couldn't even place buy orders. So when they first launched, this was literally just a stop loss feature, is my guess. I didn't ask him to go into details. And, at this point, we had been talking for so long, I felt like he was, giving me way more than enough time, and I was just starting to bug him. So I started backing off on the questions. What I got from that was the main feature for this was the trailing stop loss. And that in and of itself was, to me, is a killer feature. Is there an update release schedule that you try to follow? We ship new things every week and at all different steps in the funnel. Sometimes it's an improvement for new users. Sometimes a feature people that have been using Signal for months have asked for. So they're constantly updating this. They're constantly working on it. This isn't something that's just sitting out there, not being updated, not being addressed. They have an active team that is really diving into this. And from the way he's been responding, a very, very fast team. He's been on it with these responses, and it's really impressed me. What's the response time you're seeing from the exchange? How long does it take to execute an order? Last time he timed it, I'll just read this verbatim from him. Last time I timed it, placing an order, having it fill, and then checking with the exchange to record that it had filled on Signal was 0.4 seconds. That's within bot time. Like this is not something that you place an order and it takes 5 to 10 minutes to get put on the exchange. No, this is as fast as using a bot, which is awesome because it makes it very competitive. Would you consider adding some sort of portfolio manager, some way of keeping track of profits and losses over time? You can already track on a per trade basis, which I showed you in the demonstration, but we're going to add an overall tracker soon. So they are going to add the ability to track profit and loss over time directly in the site and not have to do it in a spreadsheet, which is how it's working now. And that's pretty cool. They have that goal set already. Are there any new features that are being planned? If so, what's the timeline? Another trailing stop loss feature which automatically bumps the stop to entry when the first target hits. So basically, this is a pretty nice little thing. The way it works now, the trailing stop loss is just keyed to whatever percentage of the price you set it to initially. If, say, for example, you set a 10% loss, but your first target is a 5% profit, when that first target hits, a new stop loss is automatically created that bumps up the lowest possible sell price to the price of entry, helping you to lock in your profits. And then of course it keeps tracking from there. So whatever percentage it is, like if it was if your initial stop loss was 10%, your first target was 5%, when that entry is hit, when that first target of 5% is hit, it bumps the stop loss up to the initial entry price, so 5% lower than what that target was. And then it stays from there. So the stop loss will stay at 5% as the price goes up. The trailing stop loss stays at 5% below whatever the price happens to be. Again, amazingly cool feature, and one that I hope to see implemented soon. What about discounts for paying annually or biannually? Yes, we can give a 10% off for biannual and 20% for annual. Just reach out to someone from our team. So right now the subscription is $10 a month, and if you want to pay it 6 months at a time or 12 months at a time, they will give you a discount for that, which I think that's just really sweet of them. Is the company in the black yet? And I asked this question specifically because I have seen so many projects come and go in the crypto world because whoever was starting it didn't have the staying power. They didn't have the funds necessary to keep going until they started making a profit. These are still the really early days of cryptocurrency trading and crypto in general and blockchain. And it's kind of the Wild West out there. There's not a huge market yet. There's not a lot of people that are interested in this yet, although that has been growing every single year. So this is a kind of a hard place for companies to get involved in and actually make money. And I really like these guys, and I want to know that they have the power, the buying, or the staying power to last and to make this a profitable business for them. And that way I get to keep using it and keep making money for myself. We aren't in the black yet with Signal, but we have a previous startup which earns us passive income, so we should be able to keep going for a while. That tells me two things that I really like. One, they already have a successful business venture under their belt. They're not newbies at this. They've done this before. They have some experience under their belt. Two, they're willing to use the income of that to fund this, which tells me this is something they're really passionate about. And then he goes on to say, in fact, we're looking to hire a front-end developer this month, and we're hoping to raise a seed round later this year. Then we'd be all set. And also, if you happen to know any smart front-end devs, please let me know. So if you guys see this video, you're looking for a job in the crypto community world, and you're a really good front-end dev, reach out to these guys. They have a job for you. Now, I went back and asked him specifically about the seed round. Is the seed round simply to continue as you are now or to expand operations? And I was just curious to see if they were worried about not having enough money to continue. And he said, we will use the seed round to expand our team significantly. We're a small team right now, and with more people, we could move much faster. So the seed round isn't to keep them afloat. They, from what he's saying here, from what I can tell, they've got enough money to keep themselves afloat for the foreseeable future. The seed round is to expand and grow their operation and put a lot more features out there a lot faster. I'm happy with that. I like that a lot. And then what are the other exchanges you hope to add in 2020? What's on the list right now, and what is the primary issue that needs to be addressed to launch on Signal? We're looking into adding Binance Futures right now. I know it's not really a new exchange exactly, but it is a lot of new things. We're also looking at Kraken and Bitfinex since people have requested them. The biggest thing which is holding us back is just when we decide to do it. We are doing a lot more marketing right now to get new users, and so it's a bit of a back and forth between getting new users and making it better for existing users. And I understand that cycle. Like that's a tough place to be when you're balancing the growth and the time you're putting in to grow your product versus how much income you actually have coming in from existing users on your platform. I get that. That's a tough place to be in. And right now, realistically, the bigger market is the rest of the world where Binance is operating. You know, Binance is the biggest exchange in the world right now by volume and by user count. And I don't blame them for wanting to focus on that and bring in more users as fast as possible, so that they can then turn around and fund adding more exchanges that target specifically here in the US. Would I like to see them add US available exchanges faster? Yeah, absolutely, because that means I can start profiting off of it right now without having to move outside the US, which, I mean, I do sometimes anyways, but that's a whole different story. So that's it. Like, that is Signal. And I don't know about you guys, but I like it and I am using it daily and I will continue to use it. And in fact, even though I'm currently in the US and I can only use it for paper trading, to me that is worth the $10 a month at this point in time, because of how much I'm learning using it and how easy it is to learn. And I just feel like I will be in that much better of a position to jump in and start actively making profits when I can use this, whether it's from moving outside the US or when they add a US based exchange. If you guys think that this is something that would help you as well, I would love if you would sign up using my referral link, which I will add in the description below. It would help me out. I do get a commission from that. And it would help me, one, improve my video recording setup and bring you better, higher quality content more often, but also just help me survive. Like, right now I am coming back from a place of zero. Like, I've been living off the grid, with no job, no income, basically as a renunciate. And if if you've been watching my other channel, kind of where I'm at and why I'm really stepping back into this world of finance and money and the current economic system that I have rejected for so long. This is part of me also trying to build my passive income streams and really play with money and growing it, and then sharing that journey of growing money with you guys so that hopefully you can learn from it. Like, if you're in a place where, like me, you don't have a lot of money, you've had trouble working within the current system to grow wealth, this is for you. Like, this is me putting myself out there to hopefully let you learn from my experiences. And that's really it. Like, guys, thank you so much for sticking around and for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this is something that will help you grow your profits in the future. Until next time, it's been a pleasure. Aloha.